Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Oh, these gloves are a little tight now. PJ, you're the first one. Lynn, you're second. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Trina. Hi, Jess. How y'all doing? Yay, woot woot. There needs to be a big buzzer, big bell we can ring for whoever's first, isn't it? Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Geneva. Hi, Karen. Hi, Karen. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Leanne. Hey, Keith, can you close my door, hon? The dogs hear my voice and they're gonna, they already fussing to be let in. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Karen. Aw, I'm glad it's a treat for you. How you doing, Christina? Hi, Laura. My water tonight, I don't have this is the sparkling soda water. The Fresca. Does anybody else drink that one? Oh, I'm dried out, honey. I'm dried up. They used to make this in peach, but you can't find it in peach no more. Yeah, this is a good one. Hi, Eileen. How much snow do we have? Hardly none now. It got up to in the 40s today and melted most of it off. It's still like in the shadows of like the trees and all of that, but we got right at 5 inches Monday. Yesterday was quite treacherous getting out of our driveway, and once we got to the main roads, we were okay. So we made everybody that made it into headquarters yesterday, we made everybody leave before it got dark because of black ice. And then today it was fine, but now we're in for another little something else this Friday morning. Like, I just cannot believe it. Look, y'all, if New Year's Eve Nail Art Retreat were in person this year, I would be, child, I'd be done ate me a whole box of Imodium by now because we never get snow like this in December. So I guess the good Lord above knew what he was doing when we put it online for this year. So yeah, have y'all been seeing the sneak peeks I've been putting out of things that are arriving at headquarters to go in our Tracy's Favorite Things kit? Oh, girl, we got 2 kits left. I don't know what else has come in. I know we're expecting one more box that was supposed to get there. I think it was supposed to get there this past Monday, but because of snow, it didn't get there, and so it's delayed. I guess it'll be tomorrow when it comes. So yeah. Oh yeah, Jess. No, we want everybody. We don't want them to come in if they feel, unless they feel safe driving in. They can be flexible in their hours. You got 2 escaped puppies, Keith. So anyway, yes, Geneva says she's dying. She cannot wait. I know, Geneva. So yes, look, tonight we're going to do some winter peacocks. Oh, yes. You can let them come in. Look, we got sitting at our glass doors that we closed to our studio here. We got 2 puppies peeking in. So we just go let them in. If y'all hear them, I apologize. Dutchie has had another little episode yesterday from 8 a.m. yesterday morning until about 3 a.m. this morning. She had somewhere around 13 diarrheas. And she still had 4 or 5, maybe 6 loose stools today. And that's how it started with her last time. And of course, I'm watching everything she eats. I'm writing everything down. The only thing that's been different, somebody tell me if your dog has had this before I panic. Only thing I can track is late Sunday night, she had her flea treatment, the one like where you squeeze between their shoulders. That was late Sunday night. By yesterday morning, 36 hours later, she was already having the diarrhea episodes. So then I go and look back on my calendar from last month when she got sick, and same thing. I had just given her that treatment. Last month she had a frontline treatment, and this month she had an advantage treatment. So I am thinking that she may be allergic to that, is what's causing her gastric upset that starts this whole cycle. Now she's eating and she's got energy, so she's not like she was last time, not yet, but I am definitely keeping an eye on it, and I have meds from before, anti-nausea and anti-diarrhea medicines that I'm giving her. So hopefully, if that's it, maybe we can catch it before it goes too far this time. The oral one, Sonny, I'm thinking so. Mm-hmm. Well, tonight we're going to do winter peacock with some little winter pine bough branches. I hate these pink gloves. It's all I've got that fits me. So sorry. Let me show you. We got something that came in that we didn't know was going to come in. We didn't think she coming, honey. Our winter peacock 3-piece liquescence is here, and these are 2 of these are color shifting. They're all metallic, but this dark teal one, this is gilded peacock, glacial peacock, and then white peacock is not white at all. It's got this insane color shift. It's purple when you put it on. So in the bundle tonight is the 3-piece winter peacock liquescence, and then I am using eye candy frosty. To my knowledge, I've not used this on a live. Girl, won't you stop? Look here. Very, very pretty. This reminds me of Cinderella, very Cinderella-ish. Okay. And also in the bundle is Wildfire. And then I put one of the white peacock colored glass shards in here, because you'll see what I'm going to do with that. You can save 20% off the bundle. Keith, will you pop that bundle up, hon? If you use the code Peacock. It's all capital letters. So right there is above. You can see, you can just click on that and it throws it in your cart for you. I think with the discount, I can't remember what it is with the discount. Thank you, Jess. Yes, that's your discount code right there. Now, these are available on their own as well. If you're collecting liquescence and you just want these insane color shifting liquescence, a little birdie told me, look, it's already here, but we have to make sure, everything is ready for it to go. Little birdie told me in January, we have our new liquescence creams dropping. If you attended the Queen's Court last month, you got a little sampling of our new liquescence creams. I think they got 16 of them. It's actually either a 36 or 38 piece set, and those are dropping in January. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful liquescence cream colors. If you don't know about liquescence, let me explain real quick. This is an acrylic based paint, not acrylic like liquid and powder, acrylic like acrylic paint. However, the difference in our liquescence and standard acrylic paint is this. This is the way I like to explain it. How many of y'all in grade school, you would take your Elmer's glue and you'd squirt that glue right here and you'd press it real thin until it dried, and then you would do what with it? What would you do once it dried on the palm of your hand? Oh yes, you would peel it off, wouldn't you? And when you peeled it off, it was nice and stretchy. It was like Stretch Armstrong. Okay, and so that flexible fixative, all acrylic paints have a fixative in it, so they dry and they stay put. But our liquescence paints have that flexible fixative in it, so they're less likely to crack when you use it for your nail art. They dry faster, has a quick drying agent in it, and they just wear better. That fixative keeps it stay put. So if you're going to put metallic glaze or a matte top coat, anything over top it, you're not going to pull off those pigments with it. So, and really, really highly pigmented. All right, so let's get started with our artwork lesson. Girl, we all used to do it all the time. I'm going to put me 2 nails here because one, let me adjust my camera slightly so I can get my nail tip in frame. Right there. And then I'm going to want one of these so it can do the pine bough on it. She don't want to stick, boo. There we go. Okay, let's go with a little no buff because these tips are shiny. And I want to make sure this is stuck down really well. No buff, we're going to etch. And then technically, if you were doing a press-on nail, you'd want to put a base coat on here. Don't just leave it like that. But for demo purposes, we're going to go right over top with Frosty. This is Eye Candy. This is insanely beautiful. It's a light blue in color, but it's got a golden halo to it. And I think I'm just going to need 1 coat. Maybe 2. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, I think we can just do 1. Look how pretty that is. This one's called Frosty. Look, if it stays winter till February where you are, or even till March, you can wear this all the way through. I definitely can see this even for like bridal season. Let's go ahead and do both of these. Now this one is going to get the pine bough on it. So before I cure this gel polish, I'm going to take Wildfire. This comes in the bundle tonight. This is the spray glitter. I'm just going to turn this. I'm going to ombre that glitter, but I'm going to put it right into the wet gel polish. A little bit here. Look how pretty that is. Oh, girl. And because this is a glitter dust, it lays completely flat in that gel polish. So now we'll go ahead and cure that one. Anytime you're using liquescence, this will dry out on your palette. If you don't have a wet palette nearby, you can get wet palette paper at any type of craft store, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You can also make your own wet palette with this right here. These little cotton ovals that you get at Walgreens, you can wet one of these, lay it in your dish, and then put you a piece of parchment paper on top of it, and it keeps your paint wet for hours. Hours. How many of y'all that work behind the chair have, you have something on, and before you know it, at the end of the day, 5 other people have wanted what you have on? Right? That used to happen to me all the time. Or a season like it is now. Oh yeah, we want red nails with a white snowflake. In that case, you don't have to throw away what you've got in your wet palette. Okay, you can keep that. Okay. Already got a man down here. Where'd she go? There she went. There she went. We're going to do our pine branch first. Our little pine bough. Now we don't want to paint over that, even though that's a fine glitter dust. If we try and paint over it, our paint's going to gather all in those little nooks and crannies. And so then it'll just kind of bleed and meander and wander everywhere. I personally, when I'm painting with liquescence, I like to paint over a matte surface. I just have better control over my brush. And then we'll shine this up in a few minutes. So we're going to use a little bit of Velvet Matte. Not to worry, she won't stay matte. Because we still have the tacky layer of that gel polish sitting there for sure. Okay. And now our other one, we're going to go ahead and put our velvet mat on here so we can just set this up really nicely for our liquescence paints. So pretty. I personally love liquescence because your line work with an acrylic face paint versus a gel paint can get really, really, really itty bitty teeny tiny, super tiny lines you can get with this. I'm going to take my little butter pat dish, and I think I'm just going to put a little bit of bottled water in there so I can clean my brush. Now, I use my watercolor brushes with the liquescence. I don't want to put my gel brushes in liquescence. There we go. Now, 2 of these are color shifting. They only color shift if they go over black or something dark. So I'm going to do just a little bit of underpainting, quote unquote, of my pine branch first. Let's see here. What do I want to paint that in? I think I'm going to paint it in some black whipped cream just to make it easy. Girl, let's get a little. Little's all we got. And this pine branch, I'm going to make a little bit chunky with a 00 brush. She'll go this way. Y'all all know how to paint a pine branch. She goes something like this. We don't want detail in this. We just want, what would you call that? Shadowing? We just want a shadow underneath our liquescence. And it's okay to mix mediums. You can use acrylic paint. You can use gel paint. You can use everything in between as long as you know how to navigate from one to the other. And let's put just a little one right here. Oh, yes. Right there. And a little messy pine branch here. You said, girl, messy's right. That doesn't look like a pine branch I've ever seen, Miss Tracy. Girl, wait. You just got to wait. We're not there yet. Okay. There we go. So now let's cure that. And that's painted on so thin, you guys. 30 seconds. That's probably cured within 10 seconds. Yeah, this is the 00 brush. Now, I'm not going to fully matte top coat this nail again. I want to just put just a tiny little bit. Oopsie. There we go. Over top of these little sparse brush strokes I put on here. It is not important to cover that nail again. I'm dry brushing that on. You see, I hardly have any on my wand. Okay, now we cure. All right, I'm going to set up my palette. Now, for demo purposes, I'm not using a wet palette because it's not going to do me any good. This will sit here days because I don't have time to pick my paint back up. When you get your liquescents, give them a good little shake. Tonight's bundle, if you use the code Peacock, you get 20% off. Girl, quit. The color shift on this is incredible over black. That one is Gilded Peacock. This is Glacial Peacock. there. And then white peacock. These were inspired by my wallpaper in my office, in my studio here. White peacock. Look, she just look white, don't she? Look here. Let me show you. Girl, quit. Look at her color shift. Oh my goodness. Yes, Lord, honey. She cray. And so is this one. All right, I'm going to put these right. I just can't fit everything in frame here. I can't do it. Okay, we're going to use mini watercolor. She looks like that. You need some clean water to kind of keep her rinsed out in. Got me a few little blue towels here. Yeah, the color shift is so pretty on these. Let me make sure I don't have something in my brush. I feel like I do have something in her. Okay, here we go, Gigio. We're going to go in Gilded Peacock first because she also has an insane color shift when she is put over black. She's gold, she's teal, she's green, she's all the things. And do you notice what color did I do the underpainting in? We did the underpainting in black so that we can showcase the color shift. If we just paint on top of this gel polish, we won't see any of that color shift. So we're going to go with the Gilded, this dark teal, 00 brush, and I'm going to put my little pine branches in here. Look at there. I paint part over the black, and then I extend it out over this Frosty, our gel polish we're using. And just really quick little strokes like. You want this to be sparse strokes. Think of pine branches in the raw. If you go cut that off a tree outside, it's not going to be all nice and pretty and even in all the things, is it? No, it might have some brown branches in it. It's going to have some that are broken. And so you're going to paint that the same way, very feathery. Because if you sit here and take 30 minutes to paint a pine branch, your client probably not going to come back, first of all. And second of all, for a simplified artwork like this, if you're taking 30 minutes on it, you're going to lose yourself some money, honey. Okay? So you see, that's dry already. Look. Girl, quit. Now, in between those little branches, now we're going to go up a color. We start with the darkest, then we're going this Glacial Peacock. This is a beautiful, beautiful aqua turquoise. And real sparsely, you just go right in between. This one does not have too much of a color shift on it. This one is mostly just that really pretty metallic pearl. So just go in between. But don't cover up all your black because you need that black in order for your white to have a color shift. And if you have covered up all your black, then you're going to have to add a little bit more black in there before you go with the white peacock. Now look at white peacock. Here we go. We're going to go down the middle. Girl. And I try to catch everything that's left in this one. It's a process. It's the little layering process here. Just go right over top, right over top. Look at there. And now we just go let that dry real quick. She'll be dry in a second. It takes no time to dry it. And if you're still one of those nail techs that work with a fan at your desk, in probably 30 seconds it's dry. Oh, that's the wrong finger to touch it with, honey. Yep, she's dry. Top coat. I'm going to go with a shiny top coat because I want to see all of the liquescence pearl. I want to see all this shimmer in the background. Now, we're not done yet. We got to put our final definition on here, but this is ready for Ladybug Luster. Girl, you better quit it now. Honey, this is one of the frostiest, prettiest kind of pine branches you can do. In my humble opinion, you can snow this. You can do your sugar paste on it. Look, now wait till we put the definition in. Let's cure her. As a matter of fact, I'm only going to cure that about 10 seconds. I don't want to fully cure my top coat all the way through just yet. Now you can use one of two things here. You can use this metallic green whipped cream. Actually, you could use a couple. You could use that. This is a little bit more green than what the teal is I have in there. You could go into this green one we released for Christmas, but that's too pine green. I'm just going to go with black because that's what I already have on here. 9mm brush. And watch what happens now when I put the detail into this. It's so easy. You look, y'all, cannot mess this up. 9mm, go straight down that middle. Boing. Keep your touch really, really light. Not that light. And now just little tiny short strokes. A little bit more of that whipped cream. We're just defining it a little bit. We're not tracing over, oops, did I make a mark? Over every stroke we put in there because we'll cover up our color. See, I've got a couple little ones there, got a couple little bitty ones there. Oh, maybe I'll do a couple right here. And especially define that little scraggly point. Right here, go in the opposite. A little bit back here. Girl, this is this pretty. This elevates your nail art. And then the same thing here. Don't trace that all the way down. You're just creating a little bit of illusion of your pine branch. Short little strokes, little short. Look here. Oh, honey. Isn't that beautiful? Y'all, please don't let this liquescence set pass you up. This is limited edition. We don't have very many. Look at that pearl color shifting. It's just beautiful. Kim, you could do it. I know you can, boo. This whole bundle, you get 20% off the bundle. Throw that in your cart. Use your coupon code. Jess typed that in for us. Peacock. Peacock, all capital letters, is your coupon code. Okay, let's go in with that and cure it. Thank you, Jess. Now look, it's still sitting here. It hasn't dried out yet. If it starts to get a little bit thick, because these are water-based, just put your little water in it. Okay, we have our other nail ready to go. That has a matte top coat on it, and that felt a little sticky. Hold on, let me wipe that just real quick. Look, if you got bug bucks or you got a different code, by all means use it if it saves you a little bit more money. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go back into this black whipped cream gel, and I'm really going to load my brush up heavy for the matching peacock feather. Now we already know that heavy whipped cream won't cure all the way through, but we're not going to leave it like this. Okay. We're going to go into our ombre brush. Make sure her little hairs are like that. And now to make our peacock feather, we pull, 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 and pull. Girl, won't you quit it now? So we're on purpose, we're going to disperse all of that extra paint we got sitting up into here for our peacock feather. Look how easy that was. 0 brush. Let's go back into that black whipped cream, and on the bottom of our peacock feather, we kind of have to put in where we want this beautiful hidden gem to be down here. About like that. Does that look proportional? Make sure that this balances out your feather. Mine needs to be a little bit bigger. My feather plume is a little bit longer, so we'll widen her out just a tiny bit, like that. Oh yeah, I can live with that. Now, I should have some paint still on that ombre brush. I do. Watch. Did you see that? Let's do the other side. Oh, let's go one more in here. Let's put in a little bit more. There we go, honey. I like my feather to be a little bit longer at the back than I do right over in here. Let's balance that just ever so slightly. Okay, she's ready to cure. Can you imagine what she's gonna look like with liquescence on top of her? Look at this beauty. This is so pretty. I would wear this myself. This is especially pretty for those of y'all that work in warm climates where you have to have fake fall and, you know, fake cold weather, and you buy a cute winter sweater and it happens to be 80 degrees on the day you're going to wear it. This is the perfect kind of nail art for beachy and tropical areas. But if you want to make this winter, put you some snow in here. Okay, now when we switch mediums, meaning when we switch from gel to liquescence or watercolor or alcohol ink, if we're switching, we got to seal this up. And you don't need a full-on matte top coat again, just dry brush, dry brush, dry brush, dry brush. Little tiny bit. We use too much product. We need to be backing off on what we're using. All right, there we go. Super thin, 30 seconds. I'm gonna get my watercolor brush ready. Make sure she's nice and clean. And we'll go into our liquescence here. We went from dark to medium to light. Okay, here we go. This is Gilded Peacock. Now don't cover up all your black. Could you use ombre brush for this? I wouldn't. You'll fill up too much of it. You see how far apart I'm spacing that? And your ombre brush is going to grab it in the same mirror pattern that you've already laid the black down in. Quick, little tiny. Look at there. I want to fill this in right here especially. Oh, Miss Tracy. Girl. Let's put a little bit of that right here. Okay, now let's go to the medium, the Glacial Peacock. I don't want this everywhere. I kind of want to be strategic where I'm putting this. Maybe a little bit right here. Because I can always go back and add more. Now I'm going to go into the white peacock, which is going to be this beautiful, vibrant, so pretty purple. And I'm going to go right up the middle of that peacock feather. Yes, I am, girl. It's interesting because the pine branch is very close to, done very close to the peacock feather. Right now, we're going to go down into here. We're going to paint a little heart, kind of like a little heart for the middle of the peacock feather, right there. Now, here's where you can start to tweak it. If you want a little bit more of that gilded peacock, the dark teal, go back and just add that wherever you want it. If you want a little bit more of the medium, if you feel like it's not balanced somewhere, balance out your colors first. I think I'm going to put just a little bit of that underneath. This is the Winter Peacock Bundle, and it's 20% off with your code. Oh, she's so pretty. Okay, we want to make sure she's nice and dry. I'm just going to sit her right there just for a sec. Where I'm wearing gloves, I can't really tell if it's dry. It is, and look, we are using such a small amount of product coming up next here. I think I'm gonna, I used clear when I did the sample, but I know y'all won't see clear on the video. So let me get a little bit of this gold out of here because I wasn't prepared for that. Just a little bit of gold whipped cream. So I have that ready to go. And you know what? I'm going to put a little bit of clear top coat with it. I don't want it dimensional like the gold whipped cream is. I'm just going to tint it gold so we can see where I'm putting it. Does that make sense? I'm going to thin it down. Yes, honey, I am. All right, real fast before we go any further, let's grab Artistic Matte. Oh, wrong one, Lord. I'm about to paint her cat eye, honey. Artistic Matte. That'd be bad. That'd be bad, Miss Tracy. Wait, before I put Artistic Matte on, hold on. Is that textured? No, it's thin. Okay, let me back up. Take a little bit of this black whipped cream. We got a tiny bit on here. Girl, you ain't even got a tiny bit. That's not enough. Let's define it like we did our pine branch first. Then we'll get to our sparkly stuff. Look here. right over top because that liquescence is now dry. It's permanent. So just to do a teensy tiny bit of detail, you don't need another top coat to separate that. But now if you were putting vice versa, if you're putting the liquescence down over gel, you have to, because liquescence will resist a gel surface, like a shiny gel surface. Oh yes, honey, that's looking good. Just make it look feather-like. Don't go crazy. And I want a little itty bitty teeny tiny hold your breath kind of line right there. Look, all of our educators have worked really hard for New Year's Eve nail art retreat. Today was their deadline to have their classes to me, because Hillary and I have quite a bit of work behind the scenes that we got to do to link everything in the student portal. So I've gotten to see many of them that come in. I'm going to put this in and cure it. And they're just, it's beautiful. They've outdone themselves. They've outdone themselves. And most of them have said, Miss Tracy, I'm so nervous about this. Can you please look at this? They've just done incredible. Very, very proud is all I have to say. Y'all are going to love it. All right, we're curing that. This is the Winter Peacock Bundle. Now we can go with Artistic Matte. We'll seal all of this up. I think we are. Let's see if I got some in my bottle. All right. Not much. I got some, honey. Not much. There we go. Now we got us out some. And let's cure that. We're almost done. Who's going to try this? Anybody going to try the pine branches? You are, Sunny. Will you tag me? Excuse me. Look, y'all, I have about 1 hour a day that I allow myself to spend on social media, and that has to be across all of my accounts. That's posting, that's trying to catch comments, that's trying to catch everything. That's all the time I can pretty much allow. So if you tag me, I will see it. Okay. If you don't tag me, and then even sometimes somebody said they tag me personally, because when you tag Queen Ladybug Nail Supply, sometimes I get the notification and sometimes I don't, honey. I have no idea where it goes. So yes, I would love to see that. Wouldn't this be pretty for press-on nails? And then maybe use a beautiful green cat eye with that of some sort. Yes, Lord. Okay. Here we go. That little bit of gold that we mixed up, we're going to take 9mm and up in here just very sparsely, really teeny tiny little strokes. We're going to put just a few of these, and you kind of want them sort of haphazard like, and not too awfully many of them. We got a lot going on here, and the more we put on, the more potential we have to cover up something that's really, really pretty. I love the way this is kind of going right down in here. I'm going to mimic this and flow right up beside of it. Same thing over here. Let's make that flow start to go really, really pretty. Okay. Okay, and now everywhere that's showing black, I call this the eye of the peacock. I've switched to a 00 brush. And I am lightly going to fill that in. And I don't mind if it has a little black border around it. I'm going to probably go back and define that. Just because I'm picky, honey. Just because I'm picky. And you just go right up to that little eye of your peacock you've put in there. Move all my paints out of the way. This bundle tonight comes with Wildfire. Here we go. Girl, you better quit it. You better stop or you ahead, honey. Lord. Now, if someplace you don't like, before you cure that, clean it up a little bit. I'm going to push this out of the eye of my peacock a little bit with just a clean brush. Oh, yes. Look at there. All right. And now we cure. You do typically tag the business page. Somebody told me they tagged the business page last week with something. She's like, did you see it? I said, no, I didn't see it. And I went and looked for it, and I still couldn't find it. But, sometimes it gets bogged down with comments and likes and all that kind of stuff, and the notifications get really, really far back in the notification list then. Okay, we're curing that. Give that just a second. Any questions on Winter Peacock? Aren't these beautiful? Look, these are not made to polish a nail in. These are for your Color Wow, Color Pop, very detailed nail art. All right, clean that up. Now, I would probably seal this in metallic glaze before I put a top coat on it, just because there's no tacky layer left. There's no anything left on there that will hold your top coat, and you don't want that top coat to come off artwork like this. So, little metallic glaze, and this helps to even everything out so she's not bumpy. Oh, goodness. Look at that. I got a fuzzy. Oh, I got her. And now I'm going to cure. Can you reactivate the liquescents when they're dry? You cannot, because of that Stretch Armstrong fixative in it that we talked about, like putting the glue on your hand. No, once these dry, they are fully permanent. Unlike watercolor, that's why the wet palette is such a good idea. But look, mine are still wet sitting here, and I'm under all these hot video lights too. So only put out just a teensy tiny bit. And now one other thing I'm going to do, you don't have to, but because my eye sees it this way, I'm going to do it. If your eye doesn't see it that way, it's okay. You don't have to do it. Take a little bit of that black whipped cream before we put our top coat on. Look, it's all kind of running in together down here. Let me get this over here. And I'm just going to go around the outer eye of my peacock. Like that. Right on, this is the metallic glaze that's cured onto it. And I lighten up, make it a whole lot lighter on the bottom of that little peacock. Come on around. And if there's anything that you want to define now, especially if you love how this motion is going, go ahead and define that before you put your top coat on. And that's actually a little bit too wide for my liking. So how do we fix that, Miss Tracy? Just clean it up a little bit. Just take your 0-0 brush and look. Just make her mind. Put her in her place, honey. Oh. Look at there. Yes. And now we cure that. And then we can top coat. And she's done once we top coat. Okie dokie. Shiny top coat. I forgot to put these in. I was going to put these under my feather. Wouldn't that be pretty? If you laid this, how you would use that, you would lay it into Frosty before you start any of that black peacock feather. So when you top coat, you see these little guys peeking through. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry I forgot that. But that comes in the bundle, so you'll have it to try. Ladybug Luster. Cure. And I saw the comment earlier. It went way past. Could I please show if we were going to put snow on these, where to do it? Yes, I will, real quick. I will do that for you. We are super limited quantity. Our little bundle above is about to sell out. Don't forget your coupon code, Peacock, and you can save 20% off of that. I think I'm going to put this on with some white whipped cream. It just makes sense to do it. Not in there, honey. I have got to reload my whipped cream palette. Now, I would probably sugar my snow. I would. If we're doing glitzy, we might as well do glitzy across the board. So let's do it. Let's do it. Little white whipped cream. So when it snows, I got this ridge of pine trees around my house. It's an L shape, and it really does protect our house from the wind. And you know, my house sits up on top of a hill, so it feels like it's always windy here, and the wind comes from that direction. So the snow we've gotten this week has stayed on top of the pine branch. So wherever we defined that pine branch in black, that's where we lay the snow in. So here we're going to press. Now don't forget, liquescence, if you like this liquescence, it's available in a little 3-pack all on its own as well, if the bundle were to sell out and you can't get that. So you don't put this snow everywhere. Again, we'll cover a bunch of stuff up if we do. So maybe there, maybe we do here. Funny story, not so funny story. Y'all want to hear what's going on with watercolor bloom now? So the third order shipped. First order we had 2 wrong colors in it. Second order, they shipped out the right colors, but it got lost. Third order shipped and is about to be delivered any day. The second order has been found, and so now order 2 and order 3 are arriving the same day. Double product. Go figure. We had none, now we're going to have double. Yeah, child, I said, I didn't say anything. I couldn't say nothing. I had to be nice. See that little bit of snow we're laying on there? Oh, look how pretty. No kidding, Jess. It has been drama from the llama, honey. But it has been the way of business this year. My manufacturers, they're just as frustrated as I am because it's affecting many companies across the board. So let me say right here, thank you for your patience. Those of y'all that are just so patient, thank you. Look here, Miss Tracy. Child, this is a masterpiece. It sure enough is. You see how irregular that is? Now we're going to do the same thing down here. Just a tiny bit of snow. Little itty bitty bit. If you don't want your snow sparkly, you can leave it just like this. But if you want to add little powder to it, I would sugar it. I think snow is pretty sugared. You see how when I put the snow down, I'm pressing the brush in? So where the snow starts is wider than where it ends. Press and wiggle and pull out. And then maybe real close to that one. You don't want these to look too regular. You want it very irregular. Okay, so there's the second one. And I've had snow dust sitting on my desk for several weeks now because I just keep using it. I'm telling you what, this would make an incredible manicure. Beautiful teals, greens. It's so pretty. If your client doesn't like gold, where I use the gold back here, usually I try to ask, what color jewelry do you wear most? If they say, oh, I only wear white gold, then I'm not going to pick up yellow gold and use there. I would use a silver there. Oh, that's pretty. Look at there. This is beautiful. Girl, I need to sign my initials on this thing. Put my initials on it and date it. And here is peacock feather that you can also put your snow on if you would like. Nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful, isn't it? Look at those liquescence metallics in there just shining. Very, very pretty. All right, and here are the two together. Hold on. She came off the stand again. It's beautiful, isn't it? All right, raise your hand if you're going to try it. Yeah? Look, Keith, you see all those thumbs going up? I'm so excited. Okay, real quick, what comes in the bundle? Just real fast, you're going to get Frosty. This beautiful pale Cinderella blue with that gold shimmer to it. And look, this lays very, very flat and silky in the nail. This is not chunky at all. You don't have to worry about buffing that, putting a metallic glaze, anything over it. You're going to get that. You're going to get all three of the gilded peacock, the glacial peacock, and the white peacock in the liquescence. You're going to get these little peacock colored Japanese glass paper ice shards that I forgot to put in. And then you're also going to get Wildfire, this gold spray glitter. And this comes with a refill as well That's what's in the bundle. It's 20% off if you use your coupon code. Your coupon code is Peacock, all capital letters. Peacock, all capital letters. And there we go. Oh, this is the time I needed blue gloves for tonight, isn't it? Very, very pretty. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. Any questions before I let you go, or before you let me go? Thank you, Debbie. Thanks for being here, Debbie. Thank you, Sunny, for being here. Thanks, Marcy, Karen, Kimberly. Thank you. I want to see you do these, Kim. I know you can. Megan, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Someone asked what brush I used for the snow. Let's see, which one did I use? I used 9mm. She's still got the white on there. Now, this is a 9mm that I've cut. You can see I've cut it because right here at the neck, you see where I've taken some hairs out. Okay, I also have a 9mm that I haven't cut that I use for different things. But if I'm using little itty teeny tiny detail, I'm going to grab this one. Any other questions? Yes, no, maybe? Listen, once again, Keith, will you check those, will you check the kits on the New Year's Eve nail art retreat? I told them at the start we had 2, but I didn't check it again before I came live. So if you will eyeball that for me. See Sunday, Janice. Look, we're hoping these watercolor blooms get here before Sunday. I really wanted to show y'all those, but again, we just have to hold our breath on that one. We every day something else is coming in for Beetlebox or the New Year's Eve nail art retreat right there. Yeah, see how many we've got left with the Tracy's Favorite Things kit. Oh, Megan, you got Beetlebox? Girl, I had to laugh. Look, there's a little typo on the packaging of Beetlebox. A little typo. It came in 2 days before we were to send it out. So we didn't have time to go back to our manufacturer and say, there's a misspelled word on our label. If you haven't noticed it, it's okay. It's okay. Then maybe it wasn't too noticeable, but it's the first thing I noticed. So I have to laugh because all I could do was cry at the time. So yeah. Okay. All right. It's not super noticeable, is it, Jess? If you haven't gotten your box, we're not going to say what it is yet, but it's incredibly beautiful. Now, if you're in Beetlebox VIP, there is a 5-part class on using that product and all the things. I'm already into filming January Beetlebox, and that is going to be extra special because one of the products coming out in January Beetlebox is for the Nail Art Toolbox. Beetlebox moves to the Nail Art Toolbox in February. And one of the branded products for the Nail Art Toolbox, we're going to let out early and we're going to sneak it in that January Beetlebox. So if you get something that says the Nail Art Toolbox, that's because she's getting a new name. Okay? All right, listen. You're going to upgrade your subscription so you can get the classes. Megan, just message me. I can do it for you behind the scenes. Don't do it on the consumer end because sometimes you'll buy a second box and not realize it. Just shoot me a message. I upgrade you behind the scenes. Okay? All right, listen, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.